Today, we bring you a case that has faded from the headlines, but has never left the hearts of those who knew and loved Shueyb Abukar, a father, a husband, a community member, and a man whose life was stolen in a moment of senseless violence, right in front of his family. On October 23rd, 2015, just before Halloween, it was a typical Friday evening in Columbus, Ohio. Shueyb and his wife took their 6 kids to dinner at the Golden Corral in Dublin-Granville Road. Nothing usual, just a family enjoying dinner together. But as they were leaving the restaurant at around 6:30 p.m., their peaceful evening turned into a nightmare. An unidentified black man approached them in the parking lot. He demanded Shueyb's wallet, and then he pulled the trigger. Shueyb was shot once in the leg. Then the gunman shot him again in the back as he turned away. The assailant fled the scene in a tan, four-door sedan, driven by another person who has also not been identified. Shueyb was rushed to Riverside Methodist Hospital in Columbus, but it was too late. He died shortly after arriving. His wife and children, his entire world, were there. They witnessed everything. 3 weeks later, on November 13th, 2015, Shueyb's family held a private visitation and memorial service at the Scodinger Funeral Home in Worthington. There was no massive public vigil, no parade of news vans, just loved ones gathering in grief, holding one another up in the quiet aftermath of tragedy. And nearly 10 years later, that grief remains unanswered, despite the release of surveillance images, multiple witness interviews, and even a reward that has since grown to $30,000. No one has ever been arrested in connection to the murder of Shueyb Abukar. Who was the man in the parking lot that night? Who was driving that car in which this killer man got away on? And why, after all these years, has nobody been arrested yet? The Columbus Police Department and Central Ohio Crime Stoppers Unit still consider this an open case. However, it is a cold case now. The reward still stands, but as the days pass, so too does the hope of resolution, unless someone comes forward. If you have any information about the shooting of Shueyb, you can contact the Columbus Police Homicide Unit at 614-645-4730 or submit a tip anonymously through the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS. Here at Strawberry Inc., we believe the forgotten deserve to be remembered. Shueyb Abukar's story is not over. Not while the truth remains buried and the killer still walks free. We'll be watching and we won't forget. I'm Santiago and this is Strawberry Inc. See you next time.